In your peanut business, if you are not satisfied with the look of your coated peanut and you keep asking yourself, why is my coated peanut looking rough, dark, lumpy, cracked, or even with white patches, completely unattractive as at when compared with the smooth looking and professionally finished products of your competitors? It is actually not because you don't know how to make a coated peanut. Yes, it only means you need to top up your peanut coating and finishing skill, which enables your peanuts to be attractive with a professional look. Though your peanut may be very tasty, but appearance is a selling point. So, join me as I expose what you need to know about coated peanut finishing and how to practically finish your coated peanut to be very smooth, just like the professional you are. And the best thing you need to do for me is to click the like button as we begin right now. Now, in peanut coating, there are 4 elements that must be put together before your peanut is successfully coated. And how you handle any of these elements determines the smoothness or roughness of your peanut outlook. These major elements of peanut coating are the dry ingredients, the coating liquid, your coating medium, and the coating peanut itself. We will look at how most peanut coaters handle these elements of peanut coating that results to an ugly look as compared to how professional handles them to give them a successfully smooth finishing result. Now, let's begin from the first, your dry ingredients. Just as most of you were taught in your catering school, that dry ingredient goes to the dry ingredient and wet ingredient goes to the wet ingredients. Following that law in peanut coating will mess up your peanut in jeopardy. This is because dry ingredient like sugar is crystalline and does not dissolve in another dry medium. When dry particles of sugar comes in contact with your flour during coating, 2 things may happen to your peanut look after frying. Number 1, may leave white patches or dots on your peanuts due to partial dissolution, or leave a dark patches on your coated peanut due to spot caramelization. And that is why some of you, your peanut looks scary to your customers. Other ingredients like baking powder and baking soda can also give you a problem when they come in contact with your flour. They can blow up your peanut at a particular spot to create unnecessary bubbles on your peanut with a rough look. So if you're used to adding any dry ingredient in your flour before coating, you need to stop. Be it flavor, rising agent, or even salt. As a professional, I add nothing to my flour. Every other ingredient goes to my coating liquid, which enables them to be properly dissolved before coating. Doing that is step number 1 to a smooth looking finishing of your coated peanuts. You got it? Yeah, you got it. Number 2 element is your coating liquid. What does your coating liquid contain? This is so important because smoothness of a coated peanut is naturally built from your coating liquid. And when you did not get the composition of your coating liquid right, the smoothness of your coated peanut will be ruined. A well-formulated peanut coating liquid that supports smooth finishing should contain protein, sugar, emulsifier, and dissolved solid. In my recipe, my protein comes from egg and milk. My sugar comes from lactose and sucrose, which is the inherent sugar present in milk and our white baking sugar. My emulsifier comes from egg yolk, while the dissolved solid comes from every other dissolvable ingredient that I use, which include dissolved sugar and milk, baking powder, salt, and dissolvable flavors. Now, here is the role that protein will play to your smooth finishing if you choose to incorporate it in your liquid formulation. Because smoothness is built as you coat per time, protein will help to form a smooth film layer round your groundnut as you coat per time. It also assists in the binding of your wet and dry ingredient together, which denatures during frying to prevent cracks, lumps, or rough looks. You cannot afford to skip protein if your goal is to have a smooth coated peanut. And same goes to sugar, which dissolves and recrystalline during frying to give you a fine, smooth brown surface texture. The emulsifying part of your coating liquid will help to keep the fat and water uniformly mixed, promoting rubricity, which is smooth look, smooth mouthfeel with a classic beauty. The dissolved solid acts as a microscopic fillers. As the water evaporates during frying, they remain in the coating, filling tiny spaces, binding the coating together, and creating a dense, uniform, and smooth shell around your granules. Now, when it comes to dissolved solid, please avoid insoluble ingredients that cannot dissolve, such as organic flavors like nutmeg, which can darken the look of your peanuts. So if you add nothing to your flour and also get your coating liquid right, you are 70% close to getting your coated peanuts smooth finishing right. The remaining 20% comes from your coating medium, while the last smoothness 10% comes from the coating peanut itself. What do I mean? I mean that it is still possible to ruin your peanut coating smoothness at this point if you are coating with the wrong medium. Let me give you an example. A student contacted me for my one-on-one paid peanut masterclass training. After giving her my smooth peanut coating recipes of wet and dry ingredients, she still went ahead to coat a very rough looking peanut. And do you know why? Because she was using a very wrong coating medium. A coating medium is that container that contains your granules during peanut coating. This includes bowl, drum, pan, or even a bucket. There are 4 things you must consider if you want to pick a right coating medium for your peanuts, bearing smoothness in mind. These include coating medium size, coating medium weight, coating medium shape, and coating medium surface. When your coating medium bowl size is small, your peanut will not have enough space to roll freely as they collide aggressively. Wet batters accumulate in a spot. Your peanuts stick together more easily, enabling sugar and flour layers to become irregular. To correct all these, I recommend you shouldn't use a small bowl for your peanut coating. And this is why beginners using tiny bowls often produce peanuts that looks handmade instead of commercial. Another factor we will look into is the weight of your container. When your bowl is light, it shakes excessively during coating, resulting in an unstable motion, making your peanut to bounce instead of rolling smoothly, giving rise to irregular coating layers, rough textures, tiny surface, cracks, and inconsistent shapes. So I recommend a moderately heavy bowl to maintain a stable movement, reduce unnecessary vibration, encourage rolling instead of bouncing, thereby helping coating settle smoothly, resulting in a smoother polishing effect, more uniform surface, and better commercial finishing. Now, for the shape of your coating medium, deep, narrow bowl usually cause poor circulation, more collusion, and uneven coating, while the wide, curved bowls usually give better rolling dynamics, better circulation, and better smoothness. And for the surface of your containers, rough interface bring about excess friction, coating scratches, irregular movement, while smooth interior space creates gentle rolling, better polishing, and cleaner coating layers. And this explains why your coating machine coating interface always appears to be very smooth. In general, always avoid a very small bowl, flat bottom bowl, very light plastic bowl, and rough interior surface. If you want a smooth coated peanut, choose a bigger bowl, a weightier bowl, a smooth surface bowl, a curved bowl, and a wider surface. I recommend thick rubber pens, big bath, or even a stainless steel bowl. Let the size of your bowl commensurate with the quantity of peanuts you may want to coat. Finally, the smooth coated peanuts in your bowl are produced by controlled rolling, gradual layer formation, uniform friction, even moisture distribution, and container control. So you as a coater has a role to play. You must need a sufficient strength and ability to move your container in a circular direction for evenly coating. Use your eye to gauge your coating so you can know when to apply dry or wet ingredients. Do not allow your coating peanuts to be too sticky or dusty. Do not close your coating container with a lid during coating, but instead allow the penetration of air while leaving it open for even rolling and smooth coating. Let your coating batch be moderate and do not try to coat all your peanut for the day at once. And do not finish coating leaving your peanut dusty or wetty. And I tell you, your finished coated peanut will be very good and amazing. If you still have more questions on this, please drop your question in the comment section. And in case you will need a professional one-on-one training class, please click my contact link on my bio. Apply these principles and see your peanut looking so smooth and nice. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.